was certainly the most Arizona Diamondbacks way to lose a game we've ever seen. Welcome into the PHNX D-backs show right here on PHNX. My name is Derek Montilla, occasionally known as a lost soul. Really, I have nothing left in my life, and I'm just completely crushed about what is happening with our baseball team. This man next to me, he used to be Mr. Electric.
Like the
I don't
power
know what
grid
he
in
is
Texas
now.
when the temperature drops below 30 degrees.
Yeah, it's too cold.
Fucking
too
useless.
Cold. Useless.
No
right
energy.
now. The Arizona Diamondbacks were able to muster up some offense in this game, but of course it was too little, too late. As they just seem to do lately while they are struggling with everything they are going through right now. This has been one of the hardest streaks to watch, I think. I mean, we talked about the Diamondbacks finding spectacular ways to lose in the Twin Series, and this game was just right up there with that. The Diamondbacks lose 5-4. They were down 4-0 for the majority of the game. I don't know what to say. The Diamondbacks were able to finally come back late against the Dodgers bullpen, which hasn't been great lately. They were able to put up 4 runs of their own, but only after the bullpen, Miguel Castro, gave up 1 earned run in the 8th to ensure that the Dodgers – was it the 8th? Was it the 9th? I don't even care anymore. I really don't. Details are important, folks, but I don't care because I'm at a point where I just don't even know what to do in watching. It was the 9th inning that Miguel Castro gave up that game, but I don't know if the Diamondbacks are going to win again. Like, I know that seems overreactionary, but I don't know. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Does anybody know if the Arizona Diamondbacks are going to win again? Because this loss drops them officially to 500 for the first time since April 7th when they were 4-4. Damon, make Baxter go down the mountain. They're saying no sound.
Yeah, we're good.
In the offense. We good?
Yeah, we should be good.
All right. Are we back? Do you guys have back? The audio is dead. Yeah. I mean, why? Do you need to hear us talk really at this point? I hope we're back. I don't know.
Yoshi got it. That was part of the joke.
Yeah, exactly.
We were quiet on purpose, just like the bats.
Oh,
but
man. I don't know what to say right now. They're saying no sound still? Are we good?
Alex,
we're good? Okay.
Or Alex is lying to us now.
All right, Alex. Yeah, all right.
No, we got if they can't hear us, they turn their audio up at this point. I don't know what's wrong. Yeah, okay, we're back.
All right, we're back.
We've been back.
Thank you, Michael. We were waiting for somebody to back us up here with the sound. Look, we could go on rants that have sound or don't have sound at this point. It's just incredible to watch this team lose in the way that they continue to lose.
Yeah.
Building, once again, I think this is where the audio cut out on, but building on the positives, at least the offense was able to get things going late in this game, which is something we haven't seen in a very long time.
Yep.
Of course, we also have the whole Bally's curse thing. That's something we also addressed. They've won 1 game, I believe, since leaving Bally's. There's just a lot of things that you could blame right now for this. But, I mean, realistically, nothing is going right for this team right now. And I think that's the saddest part, is to watch them really just not only, at times come up short, not be able to get the job done, but also have just bad luck things happen to them. Like Freddie Freeman's, ball just going inside of the third base line and doing this weird, and then Corbin Carroll also grounding out to end the game on a double play where that ball looked like it should have been foul, but Freddie Freeman somehow grabbed it while still in play, and they got the double play to end the game. It was heartbreaking because we are trying not to let ourselves get our hopes up, and we did. We played ourselves basically tonight because the Diamondbacks did get us very much back into this game, and it did very much feel late like they had a chance. Brandon Pfaadt, by the way, was not very good tonight. He got hit hard there in the fifth and did not last very long. His sweeper was not working, but he still got some whiffs with it. He got 5 whiffs total with the sweeper, or 5 whiffs with the sweeper, 8 whiffs total. Pfaadt's line, he goes 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts.
No home runs though. No home runs.
I mean, we were going to go onto the BetMGM Sportsbook app and put bet, I believe, on every Dodger player to hit a home run.
I think
that was Damon's
I was
idea.
I was ready to put the house on JD Martinez.
Lost.
Yeah,
you
My
did.
team lost, and I lost all my money. This was the worst night ever.
it was pretty miserable.
I don't know why that makes me laugh, but anyway, can we watch Baxter go back down the mountain, because the Diamondbacks, once again, folks, 500. That's a sad
The tune of that song comes across very different when he's moving down that.
Yeah, it really does. It's pretty dark. Again, 500 for the first time since April 7th when they were 4-4. I don't know. Benjamin Hunley in the chat says, how confident are we that this is a playoff team even next year? I don't even know what they have right now. I mean, things have really gone off the rails when we're asking questions like that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, this is honestly a very tough stretch where you can't even say that, you know, that this is like one person's problem, right? Like,
yeah,
I mean, we all saw what happened with Paul Sewald, right? Paul Sewald came into this game against the Twins and, you know, utterly collapsed in his first save opportunity.
It does. I mean, we're joking about the curse, but it really does. Like, it's inexplicable at this point. It's really hard to explain how it got this, because like the roster is not a great roster. I understand. Like we've said multiple times, they were always going to kind of come back down to earth, law of averages, all of that. But like, oh my! I almost choked on some toothpick. As Cogs is giving me shit for rocking the toothpick.
That would be such a D-backs way.
That would be a
We might have to
D-backs way
retire
go.
the toothpicks. It was fun while it lasted.
But Julio Urias tonight, 4.69 ERA, which is I want to say nice, but I'm not even in the mood to be childish right now. 4.69 ERA coming into this game, looks like an absolute stud. Looks like a stud. He goes out there against the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks cannot do anything against him. Urias goes 6 innings, gives up 4 hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. I mean, 1 walk.
Part of what I was getting at before my toothpick tried to kill me is that, like, they're the worst team in baseball right now. That's objectively the truth since July 1st.
Statistically the truth since July 1st.
But, like, even the way they're playing, like, even the worst teams in baseball weren't acting like this. Weren't playing in this. It wasn't this sorry. So, like, it definitely doesn't. It doesn't feel like, like Michael's saying, it's regressing to the mean, and then there's whatever the fuck is going on here.
Yeah.
It seems inexplicable, which is almost part of the problem, because it's like it's so inexplicable to me and hard to wrap my head around that it feels like at some point they're gonna bust out of it, because there's no way to explain what's going on. It's just a string of bad luck, and eventually they're gonna get out of it.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's true, we'll see. But it just feels like something weird is happening. And it's
what the weird thing is happening is, to be honest, and I mean, I know we saw some bad calls against the Dodgers as well, but home plate umpire Adrian Johnson was just flat out awful tonight. Just flat out awful. And I'm sure his umpire scorecard tomorrow will show a glowing review of his calls. But what we saw today was just egregious. And I mean, you could just tell that batters didn't know where the strike zone was, especially Diamondbacks batters. Like, Dodgers players seemed to just still stay aggressive and not let it bother them as much as you could tell that it was taking the Diamondbacks batters out of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a problem in its own right.
Yeah, absolutely.
But regardless. Yeah, like it's my thing with umpires is always consistency. I don't really care. You can put the strike zone, you can make it 3 inches wide for all I care. As long as it's consistent.
I'm not going to acknowledge Mo tonight. I refuse to even talk to him during a Dodgers series. Just like in real life when he calls me and I don't answer his phone calls during a Dodgers series. Yeah, I mean, it was just bad. It was just bad. It was bad behind the plate tonight.
But again, that matters here. It doesn't matter for the 83 straight games that this team has lost. Like you can only blame the refs or the umps so much. You can only blame any facet of any of this so much because, like you said, when it's this bad for this long, it's more than any one person or any part of the team.
They won 7 games in the month of July and have not won a game yet in August. And tomorrow will be the 9th day of the month.
Hey, they had an off day. Let's be fair.
Oh, tomorrow's
one off day.
That's true. Yeah, we'll be back.
Don't
at
be
1
fair.
No, don't be fair. Yeah, no being fair. No being fair. In fact, King Snake, we don't give a shit. That's who gives a shit? Who cares? Who cares? Nobody deserves it tonight. Were we going to give it to Christian Walker? Maybe. Were we going to give it to somebody
Carson
that scored?
Kelly?
Carson Kelly? Maybe he deserved it. Nope. Not Alec Thomas for not only his pinch hit triple, which fucking ruled, but we told the story on the
Good
account
guy,
today. Talk about the greatest day for a young Diamondbacks fan. We were watching as this young man who probably didn't belong in the kids section of the autograph area, but that's just an example of how savvy this young man was to get what he wanted.
You're saying that like he's 16 years old. The kid was probably 12.
I mean, he was pretty tall for a 12-year-old.
Yeah, but he was young.
I don't know. But anyway, he was smart enough to see Alec Thomas approaching, and he decided, as Shawn pointed out to me, just a baller move to throw the ball to Alec to sign. And that way he didn't
even give him an option.
No option.
No, Mr. Thomas, can you sign this? No, it's like, Mr. Thomas, sign that.
There you go. Boom. Throws it to him. And you could see Thomas smirk a little bit. Alec liked that. And so as he autographed the ball, he put his bat down that he was using in batting practice. And then he came over and he proceeded to sign the kid's ball and then walk away. The kid told him that he left the bat behind, and Alec let the kid keep the bat, which was just an incredible move.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Our show's over. Our show has been ended.
Freddie
Freeman came in the chat. He just fucking ended it. Called us. It's over.
All right. Well,
I mean, seeing you. We're not doing the show anymore. Freddie Freeman has fired us from our jobs.
I'm not. I don't. That's fine. I'm not. I refuse to interact with Freddie Freeman and how well he's been doing lately. But
also left us a dislike.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Fair. That's fair. I understand.
It's rent free. I have never looked up a Dodgers podcast and left a dislike on their podcast. I can say that for a fact.
Not one time. But the Diamondbacks do deserve some shade being thrown their way because they do lose their 7th game in a row. And for this, we're going to throw some shade. Let's throw some shade, Damon. What the hell are you wearing?
Shady Rays.
Oh, no.
Blue light?
Yeah. I mean, I guess there is a variety of shady rays.
I mean, it shades me from the blue light.
All right, that's fine. I mean, I feel like that goes against the spirit of this.
I will allow it.
I will allow it because I am not throwing
shade
at you. I am throwing shade at the goddamn Arizona Diamondbacks. Are you kidding me? You're going to get my hopes up there late in the game? You had me posting the Walker fucking song? You had me posting Ketel Marte dancing gifs? For what? For what? In what world did I deserve to get my hopes up? This man got his hopes up. Do you know how hard it is to get this man's hopes up right now? This disbelief in this team is so large. It's so unbelievably big that he got his hopes up. Damon's laughing over there. He got his hopes up. The words "we might be back" were fucking spoken in this very office. Are you shitting me that you're going to score 4 runs late, let the bullpen give up 1, and then lose 5-4? Ah! You got anything?
That was beautiful.
No,
I was right on the music. I mean, brother.
I don't know what to say, but I am glad I have these shady rays so that when I throw shade, I can block out the sun. For
yeah,
sure.
it's a whole lot of blue. And blue's my least favorite color, so I'm blocking out the blue light.
That's a terrible opinion.
Here's the thing:
blue's your least favorite color.
We just played the Dodgers, dog.
Yeah,
that's what I was getting.
Get with it. Come on, Damon.
Fucking way to ruin my bit, Damon.
You were the one yelling about the umpires loving blue and hating red. I don't understand how you just forgot your own words from like 20 minutes ago.
This guy stinks. Damon ruined the bit.
I'm going to throw shade at Damon now. Can we start the song again? All right, no. But I do have these sunglasses, and you should. Here's the thing.
So you don't have to look at fucking Damon's face.
That's right.
Block it out with shady rays.
Go get yourself some sunglasses. That's a good way to overcome a loss. A little retail therapy, right? What better way to overcome your team just being terrible right now than buying yourself something? And, of course, Shady Rays makes gear built to last. If you live here in Arizona, you should have yourself a pair of premium polarized shades because it's just silly if you don't. The sun is trying to kill you here. You know it. And you can shop the entire collection at their brand new location at Kierland Commons. It's a full-stop shop for all things Shady Rays. We've talked about their insane lost and broken replacement plan. I say that because no company should offer this kind of replacement plan. No company should offer this kind of lost plan for sunglasses. We lose our sunglasses all the time. Jesse's lost his like 15 times. I bet he doesn't even have them right now. But if you lose or break your pair, even on the first day you own them, Shady Rays told us that they will replace them with a brand new pair. No questions asked. They have your back long after you purchase. And of course, if you do not love your Shady Rays, you can exchange them for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. No risk when you shop. Again, they always got your back. So exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal this season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code PHNX for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated by 5 stars by over 250,000 people. And another great way to overcome a loss is illegal Pete's. Right?
Oh boy.
Could we go for
drown myself in queso?
Could we go for one of those buckets of high noons? And
only bad part is that my tears will water down the high noons.
Yeah, that's fun though.
They have buckets of 5 beers that are 16 ounces for like $15.
Yeah, that math does not math.
Yeah, that math does not check out. But I trust Damon on that because he spends a lot of his time at Illegal Pete's. So you can too. Check out their full menu: bowls, tacos, salads, burritos, everything you want. Of course, piping hot queso, the chips, the guac, everything you need. And of course, a very, very strong margarita. And that's something we could all use right now. So Legal Pete's is your go-to spot this summer. Stop by for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. every day at all 12 locations. Illegal Pete's, the go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beer for 28 years. I don't want to talk about David Peralta catching that.
Oh, God.
That fly ball, but I'm kind of disgusted by that still.
I mean, it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. It was genuinely the worst thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. Watching that happen. Legitimately.
The joy when we talk about getting let down, the joy that we all had in that moment of thinking that
you had joy. I was in pure disbelief because Carson Kelly hit a ball to a deep fly ball to left field. And I was like, well, there's no way this is going over the fence, right? And then it kept going, and I'm like, but there's no shot that this goes over the fence.
Yep.
And then it was going over the fence. I was like, oh, my God. Nope. Carson Kelly hit go fuck yourself, David Peralta.
No, it didn't.
Dude,
and Benjamin Hundley has his stats in here. Peralta is hitting 278 with 7 homers, which right now seems like better than most of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I'd take that on the Diamondbacks right now. That's for damn sure.
And I mean, again, there was the video that played of David Peralta. There was like a welcome back David Peralta video that the Diamondbacks played.
Sick.
I don't know about that. I feel like he's been back before, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you trade him, fine. When he signs with your biggest rival,
shouldn't this already be done?
He's dead to me.
Didn't we already get over this? Like, shouldn't we just show the video one time and get past it?
If you trade him to the Dodgers, by all means, give him a video. Whatever.
Yeah, it's not his choice to be traded.
You trade him to a different team, and then he signs with, I mean, not bang on the table. He signs with the enemy. Like, come on now.
I think banging on the table is worth it over.
I'm allowing it for this episode and all future losses.
He's a goddamn commie trader. I love calling people commies. It's the best insult.
Well, then, what are your thoughts about Corbin Carroll appearing on Mookie Betts' podcast?
I mean, hey, no, that's just two of the best players in baseball hanging out. Hey, Corbin was rocking the Coyotes hat in that interview. A hat that I own.
They also were very coordinated with your color scheme.
Yeah,
that you like, your style.
Say, the way I'm dressed right now, I definitely look like I've done something wrong about 30 years ago. I don't know what in particular, but it was just this is not the look of a man you could trust with these glasses and this shirt on.
That's very true.
But in general, they were dressed well. Yes.
They were dressed well. They had the beige working really nicely, and they were discussing the Tim Anderson J-Ram fight, which has just left Tim Anderson looking really bad. I know we haven't talked about it a lot here, but
and he didn't handle it well either. Like in that situation, if you get your ass knocked out on a national scale, you just got to put your hand up and accept what happened. Maybe you got to challenge a man to another fight.
I'm getting cooked out here is what you need to say.
You can't be out here being like, y'all got me fucked up. Like, no.
Like,
we don't.
You need to just
we watch you get knocked out. We don't have anything fucked up.
And not only that, but he had the one thing everybody that is in this scenario could dream of, which is a bigger fight that happened that went way more viral than your fight. Just own up to it, let it happen, and then we'll just have jokes all week long about, people getting hit with chairs and you get knocked out on the base path, and then it could be over, right?
And also, Tim Anderson, you dropped the glove first. Like, you put your hands up first,
that
and
was
you lost.
Wild. That was wild. Like, just going full.
The funniest, seeing that, I was like, oh, like the best part of that entire video, in my opinion, by far, is the ump being like, this is not something I'm gonna be able to stop. Let me get my ass up out of here. Y'all handle your business. I'm gonna be over here where it's safe and sound.
And that was great.
I respect that.
And they talked about that in their interview. We actually have a clip here from Mookie and Corbin Carroll from Mookie Betts' podcast.
The other day in Cleveland. Ooh. There was a brawl that went on. When you're playing a sport, trying to feed your family, you're around the boys all day, every day for 8 months. Things just kind of boil over. It could be anything, right? That was kind of crazy. I would have been the umpire. He started in there, and he backed out of there. He was out of there quick. You guys can have it. TA's my boy. He got him. You know what I'm saying? He just got.
We had a team meeting about it. Players only. We said if someone gets knocked out on the field, there is no way that there's nothing thrown after that. No one fought after. You got to protect your boy, right?
If there's a fight that breaks out with us, I love you guys to death. I'm just going to be pulling people out of there.
So that's our agreement. If we ever brawl, we'll come hold each other back.
Truce.
Man, I need to see that show more often.
Yeah,
and with those two guys. Yeah, with those two guys.
I mean, first off, I didn't realize Corbin had that in him. Like, because you saw it in his eyes when he was like, how are people not fighting after that?
Yeah.
I didn't think Corbin would be the kind of guy, and obviously you see how the video ends, but like, I was just like, damn, okay. I thought Corbin would be a little more of a pacifist, but he was like, nah.
Yeah, because
you come after one of my boys.
Corbin does not come across as that kind of guy.
No, at all.
He does not. He comes across as a guy that would probably be like the good guy in the situation, right? But Corbin Carroll is a student of the game.
Yeah.
And Corbin Carroll understands baseball, and that's why he is saying
Corbin Carroll's a competitor at the end of the day. You're not trying to lose.
We need to fight. We need to fight in this scenario. I also agree about the umpire, and I also love the idea of seeing the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks fight one day. Only to
you
look
just
out
see Mookie and Corbin just hugging
like
each
their
other.
arms around each other, watching from a distance. But man,
I love that.
yeah.
I like that the team met about it, though.
No, right. That's
because everyone talks about like what's going on in the
and
clubhouse.
He said it's a players only meeting, too, right? So it's like they just wanted to like hypothesize.
Which, like, I mean, to me, if that's actually what happened, like, I think that is in some ways really encouraging, in some ways really concerning. But like, it says to me that like the vibes are good. Like, it doesn't seem like the guys are like there's something going on in the clubhouse necessarily, which is encouraging because you hate for there to be something going on in the clubhouse. It's discouraging because it's like, if that's not the case, then what the hell is going on? But it seems like the vibes are still generally positive amongst Arizona Diamondbacks players.
Yeah, for sure. This begs the question, though, and this is the main topic that I need to discuss with you. Who here at PHNX are we getting in a fight for? Who is causing
the most likely to start a fight?
Yeah, who is causing us to get in a bench clearing brawl with, say, CHGO or DNVR? Which one of these guys are antagonizing.
I mean,
us.
Owen's a big shit talker.
Owen is absolutely.
I'm a pretty big shit talker too.
The entire ASU podcast.
Yeah,
You, Totri, and Shane.
Shane doesn't tend to be as reckless with his shit talk.
Shane
I feel
wouldn't,
like,
but
Shane
Totri and Shawn could.
Totri. See, this is not like it's gonna come off as like some kind of disrespect, and I don't mean it this way, but like I will talk shit no matter what, like at all times. Totri, like Totri's not talking shit to people's face. Like I'm not, which not to say he's talking shit behind people's back.
He talks shit to my face all the time.
Yeah, it's different. You're not gonna fight him.
Yeah, that's true. I am not.
But like if I got something to say, I say it.
Yeah.
Michaela's a good one.
People in the chat are saying Michaela.
Michaela's a good one.
I was thinking like Lindsay crossed my mind.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, Lindsay's going to handle her own shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
We won't
like
need to fight for Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay's going to take off her shoes and whoop someone's ass.
It's proven that Michaela can rile people up.
Yeah.
Too.
No, Michaela
that is a Michaela specialty.
You're absolutely right.
She could say something and people are grabbing their pitchforks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to this day, dude, she's not allowed in Missouri, I'm pretty sure.
Nah, I love it. Mac gets me riled up all the time. It's like she's good at that.
Yeah. Wasn't she involved with the bread argument? I don't know.
That was Lindsay and I with but I will say, like, and also getting to your point about there's a comment that's quite funny that we're not going to read. There's getting to your point about who we need to fight for. Like Mac is the kind of person where like, you know, she gets under our skin. But if someone comes at Mac, it's like, oh, well, you're not coming after fucking Michaela Perkins. Fuck you. We're going
over my
we
dead
will
body.
fucking throw hands.
Over my dead body.
In the war?
Yeah.
In those comments?
Yeah. I was fucking, me and her were there hand in hand. I mean, I'm not the kind of person that goes at people on the internet because I think it's a waste of time by and large. But like,
the biggest.
Yeah, coming from a guy who does it all the damn time. And David, I just go on through Twitter sometimes, and David's just tweeting at people. I'm like,
at least I'm aware of it.
No, 100%. Yeah,
just antagonizing.
And he's usually right.
I so pick fights.
Yeah, it's amazing. I respect it, and Mac picks fights as well. But Mac is the kind of person. Mac's not gonna fight.
Yeah.
So we got to fight for her.
I don't know why, but I just want to throw out there. I would die for Petey.
Oh yeah,
you know,
I would
die for Petey.
I don't think we'd ever need to fight for Petey.
Yeah,
but I would die for Petey.
I would die in Petey's
Mac
army.
is the kind of person who would talk shit on our behalves. Like she would talk shit for PHNX, and then now I was like, okay, now we all have to fight.
Yeah. No, that's totally accurate.
I think Jesse would get in a fight. I think Jesse's starting fights.
I think I would love to see Jesse in a fight. Just
Jesse, like you should see Jesse in the press box at at Chase Field.
Yeah,
he's just like spitting in people's faces, just being like,
"It's wild,
you piece of shit. Let's fight."
Like it's
like, all Jesse does.
He's got a very big ego.
Yeah, Jesse.
Like, there's all these
Jesse is a
generally super rude
disliked person and dislikes other people.
Yeah. And this is what
generally I just don't like Jesse.
Yeah, like this is the kinds of things we could say about him when we have him trapped in our green room and he can't respond right now, but he has to listen to us. But before we get to Jesse, I do want to thank you guys for being here in the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, sign up for notifications, that way you don't miss whenever we go live. Leave us a thumbs up just to counteract Freddie Freeman's thumbs down that he left us. If you're listening on the audio podcasting side, please subscribe to us there. Leave us a review. We always appreciate the feedback. Most importantly, sign up today to become a member of the PHNX Die Hard community.
Do it.
Not only do you become a member of our family, but you will get all sorts of great benefits. The membership pays for itself right away, folks. I'm not even joking about that. If you want a shirt, you might as well be a member. And if you like pizza, then you're going to get a $50 gift certificate for that. And you're going to get a $35 shirt or a $35 hat. And that's pretty much going to pay for your entire membership.
A little behind the scenes, we are pumping up the Die Hard only content. Like it is coming hot and heavy now.
It is. We gave all of our content away for free for such a long time. We only locked Jesse's newsletter and a few other choice pieces of quality writing behind.
But now we're doing more
behind it. But now you got to be a part of this family to get all of this stuff. Today I had a chat on field. Me and this guy, we talked to Tori Lovullo. And that was exclusive Die Hard only content in the Discord.
Well, that's every beat. Sure. Every beat is really stepping up the Die Hard only content.
Again, Petey's leading the way for all of us, and that's
there's always been
value
in being a Die Hard. Don't get me wrong, but it's just got it's becoming an even better deal day by day.
We're definitely going to do everything we can to make sure you feel like you are getting the best coverage that you can get here in the Valley. And of course, you get all of that wonderful stuff, access to our members only Discord lounge, Jesse's newsletter. You get all that free stuff. You get free discounts or free stuff with our partners. You get discounts with our partners, members only invites to events, members only merchandise, and so much more. So join us today over here. Become part of the PHNX family. And last, of course, make sure to sign up for BetMGM, because if you haven't, you're missing out on Nerfy Fridays. And Nerfy Fridays are pretty much free money. And when I say that, I mean you're either going to win your bet or you are going to get that money back up to $25. It's that easy. All you have to do is opt into the promotion, place a no-run first inning bet on any MLB game. That is what a Nerfy is, no-run first inning. And you bet no on the will there be a run in the first inning market. If your bet loses but only one run is scored during the inning, you will receive a bonus bet equaling your stake up to $25. So again, especially with the way the Diamondbacks have been struggling with offense lately, it can be free money. So get down on that on Friday. If you haven't signed up for the BetMGM app yet, use bonus code PHNX. There's a few different offers depending on where you live, but for our AZ audience, place your first bet offer and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if it loses with BetMGM. Again, make sure you use bonus code PHNX. Check out the show notes for full details, and now listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? 100 Gambler. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-522-4700 Nevada. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., Kansas, Nevada, New York, or Ontario.
Cogs in the chat says, little known fact, Jesse has a kill count. And then Condog backed that up by saying, yeah, Cogs is right, and it's not one. Oh my God. Well,
I think Jesse needs to
defend himself, maybe. I don't know. Let's
bit.
bring in this stone cold killer himself. It's the one and only Jesse Friedman. Jesse, we got a little heartbroken tonight, and we tried not to get hurt, but the Diamondbacks still hurt us with this game. I know you try to stay kind of unbiased here, but how did that ninth inning go for you? Did you feel like things were finally shifting the Diamondbacks' way, only to once again come up short?
Well, first of all, I just want to make sure. Do you guys have any other accusations?
I was going to say, you weren't going to give him a chance to clear his name.
No, I just wanted to move right past any kind of contract killer rumors that we might have heard about you.
Paid assassin.
We were
Jesse
also
Friedman.
talking about who we'd get into a fight for here at PHNX, the way that, they were talking on Mookie Betts' podcast about having to fight against maybe for some of your teammates. And we're pretty certain that Owen or Michaela is the one that is going to get us into that fight.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't feel the need to add anything there. I think you guys totally nailed that. As far as the ninth inning of this game goes, D-backs made it interesting, right? I guess they kept people watching, only to leave them maybe even more disappointed at the end of this game.
Correct.
That's just sort of how things
Precisely, Jesse.
Precisely. That's an astute observation on how we feel, Jesse.
Just knew it was going to be trouble, right? The moment they started scoring runs in the ninth inning, it was like, all right, they're just trying to add more heartbreak to the situation. Yeah. I think it was good for the Diamondbacks to at least show some signs of life offensively. Even if they lost this game, like, you don't want to see it. This team doesn't need to get shut out again, right? Like that's not something that anyone wants to see at this point. It's already happened multiple times, I believe, in just the last 10 days. So Diamondbacks were able to escape that. They weren't able to get the win. Some people were not happy about the ball 4 call to James Outman in the top half of the ninth inning. Outman was the guy who ultimately scored that fifth run for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He was driven in by Mookie Betts later in the inning. If you go back on game day, that pitch looked pretty good. Probably should have been strike 3 instead of ball 4. But yeah, umpires are obviously never perfect. At the end of the day, the Diamondbacks didn't really do much of anything offensively against Julio Urias. They didn't score any runs, right? 6 innings of shutout baseball for Julio Urias. He came into this game, I believe, an 8-1 record against the Diamondbacks and a sub-2 ERA in his career. He has just really been a problem for this Diamondbacks offense over the years, and they just didn't really have any answers for him today. I don't know if you guys have played the video or if we have the video, but there is a video of Torey Lovullo talking about what happened in those front 6 or 7 innings of this game. And it was pretty clear that he was not too happy about what he saw from his offense in that time frame.
We do have that video, and here's Torey talking.
I think we were just satisfied with what was happening. We did play our game. Just kind of rolling with what was happening. And that's not us. We play with intensity and energy, you know, and a certain swagger. I haven't seen that in a while. But I saw the last 2 innings.
He did not look happy there, Jesse. That is probably, that's probably the angriest, most frustrated I've ever seen him sitting there after a game. And we've seen him after some pretty tough losses kind of look a little shell-shocked by the loss, but he looks angry there.
Yeah, Torey obviously, it is generally known for being the player's manager and coming out in support of his players in pretty much all situations. But you definitely hear a little bit of a change of pace there, where he's basically calling out his guys for being content with what was happening offensively for this team over the first 6 innings or so. It's always hard for me as an outsider to gauge whether, something like this, what Torey's describing, is happening, or whether Julio Urias is just like a really good pitcher having a good day and hitting a whole bunch of corners. And it's hard for anyone, no matter how focused you are. You can't just sort of will yourself to, 4 runs on 7 hits or anything. That's not really how this game works. But yeah, that was Torey's assessment of the situation, is that the Diamondbacks were getting maybe a little complacent, just kind of going through the motions offensively. They had 1 hit in a number of different innings. I think innings 3 through 6, they had 1 hit, but they just weren't able to actually do anything with it. That guy was just left stranded on base in each of those innings. So, good for the Diamondbacks to show some life at the end of this one, maybe build some momentum into tomorrow's game. But it seems like we've had a number of these games now where the D-backs lost but did some things right, and maybe gave you some optimism for what could happen the next day, and it hasn't really translated up until now.
We felt like the home plate umpire, Adrian Johnson, was very bad today, and obviously we're not going to act like we're unbiased here when we're watching this game and feeling the way we are. But one thing I felt like I noticed after a while was there were bad calls being made for both sides, right? There were bad calls for Dodgers pitchers, bad calls for Diamondbacks pitchers. It seemed to be a little one-sided at times, but I saw some pretty egregious calls for both in both directions, right? But it felt like the Diamondbacks were just kind of being bothered by that more than the Dodgers were. Like, it didn't feel like the Dodgers were bothered at all by the bad calls. They weren't looking. There wasn't discussion. There wasn't. Even like their pitchers at times had some questions, but just as far as them being aggressive hitters at the plate, I don't feel like they were, they were letting the calls get to them at times the way the Diamondbacks were, which, I know that's just a small thing, and I don't know how much they were actually letting those calls get to them, because I'm not them. It just felt like in watching them, especially while Urias was in the game, that they were bothered by him, and they were also bothered by some of the calls at the home plate, which obviously didn't help at all everything that they were going through in their struggles, right? But they did wake up there a bit against the Dodgers bullpen, which has not been very good lately, and it was good to see, like you said, some life there. It was good to see something pick up, but that last play was heartbreaking, Jesse. Corbin Carroll hitting into essentially the double play to end the game, which didn't really even look like it was fair. It looked like Freddie Freeman was in fact standing in the foul ground territory, but as Bob Brenly pointed out on the broadcast, as long as the ball was fair, then the player who caught it can be standing in foul ground. And that felt like such an example of what the Diamondbacks have been going through right now, where it just seems like they're close to figuring it out, but they just get some real bad luck when it comes to the big hit not getting through.
Yeah, we actually have another clip of Corbin himself talking about that play. I don't know if we have that ready yet, but yeah, he basically is talking about what he saw there, and obviously Corbin wasn't running out of the box immediately, which may or may not have impacted the outcome of that play. So you can hear what he had to say there.
Yeah, I mean, there's no excuse for it. Got to run hard out of the box, but I guess taking you through my mindset, like I thought the initial bounce was foul, and that's kind of what I saw there.
Yeah, he fully accepts responsibility for it, and these are all the things that these moments will burn into a young player's brain, and they'll never forget it. And hopefully, we'll see Corbin Carroll continue to improve and not make some of these kind of mistakes that we don't expect him to make. But still, also we also expect Corbin Carroll to be able to beat anything out. So I think that's the reason why that sucked the most, was because you felt like
it wasn't exciting
anymore. Corbin Carroll could have probably at least given it a good exciting play there, but instead it was just kind of a fizzling out there at the end.
Yeah, we asked Torrey afterwards, do you think, obviously it's hard to tell from the dugout, but do you think that's a play that Corbin might have been able to beat out if he was running right out of the box? And Torrey wasn't sure. He hadn't looked at the clip of the play or anything at that point yet, but he did say he would like to believe so. Generally with guys who are that fast on a chopper, hard, so close to the first baseline, you don't often see guys as fast as Corbin get doubled up on ground balls like that. So it's definitely reasonable to wonder. We don't really have a way of knowing for sure. But I will say, in Corbin's defense, as you heard there, he definitely took full responsibility for this. Yeah. But it is kind of an instinctual play. He described to us a little bit later in that conversation, whenever he chases one of those sliders down and in, and he rolls over the top like he did in that situation, it generally bounces right around the plate foul. And it's kind of an instinctual thing, right? When you hit a chopper that bounces immediately out of the batter's box, essentially, if you think it's foul, then your natural instinct is not to run to first base.
Sure.
Sure. And you don't have to wait to see where it goes. That's just an instantaneous sort of thing. You feel like you fouled it off right at the plate. It's a foul ball. I'm going to regroup. It would be somewhat ridiculous for any time you hit a chopper right on the plate or around the plate that was foul, if you just ran to first base out of the box every single time just to make sure. So you can understand why, yes, you should run to first, you should sprint out of the box every time just to make sure. But this was kind of an instinctual thing where I think it was maybe hard to expect that from him. So just unfortunate. Obviously, he's a hustler. He's not the kind of guy who's going to be lazy or, try to cut corners in any way. He plays the game the right way. I think that's pretty clear to everyone at this point, and he just didn't do it there.
It's just so many moments, Jesse. There's so many moments like that in this game. Just in this one game where everything just went the Dodgers' way. The Mookie Betts, the Mookie Betts hit that just eked inside of the third base. David Peralta making the greatest defensive play we've ever seen him make in left field at Chase Field before.
To rob Carson Kelly.
Carson Kelly, you monster. Carson deserved that dinger. My God.
I'm not going that far.
Come on.
So he deserved it.
It was on StatCast. That was a homer in 20 out of 30 ballparks. So.
Well, I'm not saying it wasn't a home run. I'm saying to say that Carson Kelly of all players deserved it.
He deserved it. He needed it. Elise says in the chat, she made a good point. Scroll back up there, Damon. She said, we're going to finish the year like one game out of the wild card and look back at games like this and think what could have been. Yeah. I'm feeling that way. And I don't think it's just this game, or I don't think it's just this 7-game losing streak. I think we were talking today about all of those series where the Diamondbacks could have completed a sweep and just couldn't get that last game, and there was just that one elusive win that they couldn't lock down here and there, but it was okay because they were winning enough back then at that point that it just kind of was this is, what do we expect? Jesse, the Diamondbacks are 500 for the first time since April 7th when they were 4-4.
Wow.
That's just.
That's
I mean,
insane.
I know you weren't here for it, but Damon played Blackster going down the mountain. Jesse's going down the mountain now. It's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But I imagine, without asking, I imagine the mood in the clubhouse was pretty somber. And I mean, I don't know. You asked Tori today a kind of a fun question, which we do have the clip of talking about how does he get past this stuff? How does he spend his off day to get away? And he gave us a funny answer, and then he gave us his real answer. But here's what Tori had to say about Jesse asking him, what does he do to get away from all of this going on right now?
You do personally during times of the year like this that are harder to just kind of get away and just sort of maintain your sanity and harder stretches of the season?
Man, I can't really tell you what I did yesterday because it involved some alcoholic beverages, right? So adult beverages. That's not the right answer. I don't want youngsters to see that. It's not the right answer, okay? I had one Modelo yesterday, okay? I start asking a lot of questions. That's what I do. I rely on the people around me. I rely on the resources around me. I rely on my bosses. I rely on people outside of the industry, inside of the industry, just great leaders, other people that have walked through this, and just get their insights. I spent Friday morning with PJ Fleck at the University of Minnesota talking about some of these very things that are happening at this ball club. So I'm on an information search to figure things out. It's not going to just happen by me shuffling cards and saying, here we go, let's deal them out. It's going to be okay. Now, there's a way out of this. I just can't figure it out yet. And I'm asking everybody around me to work hard and don't cut corners from a coaching standpoint. And so I rely on everybody that I know inside of my world, and then come to the ballpark with a new intensity, with some new messaging, with some new thoughts about what we can do. But when it's time for me to step away from the game, and I dedicate a lot of time to my family, and that helps balance me out too. So kind of gave you both sides of the coin there, but I think you're mostly referring to where do I go and who do I turn to? Trusted resources, and people that are in this fraternity. It's a very small fraternity, and not a lot of people know what I'm going through every single day. They do. So I'm gonna try and get some.
Yeah, and Tori obviously talked there about how much the jokes about adult beverages are hilarious, especially
that was the best part.
Especially the pause when he knows he's like, that's not
the right answer.
The right answer. And then he doesn't want it. He doesn't. And again, I mean, I understand where he's coming from, and I think that's the one thing that makes us like Tori very much is he is a very honest person. He's very forthcoming, and he probably had a couple of beers while kind of digesting how bad this has been. I mean, this has been rough, and the manager, is ultimately responsible for the performance of the team. I had some diehard content when I talked to Dory today about, what he does to kind of get these guys motivated. And his comment kind of surprised me when he said, if you need to be motivated at this level, this is probably the wrong sport for you, or this is probably the wrong job for you. Because, these guys shouldn't need a manager to come in and get them motivated like we see coaches and managers do in movies. Managers in baseball are called that for a reason. They manage the game, they manage the roster, but these guys go out there. These guys are the ones that are the ones playing on the field. We blame them a lot, but we also have those moments where we turn around and stop and say, when do we hold the players who aren't performing well accountable? When do we say it's their fault? Like, especially when it comes to the bullpen, considering that nobody in this bullpen at times seems to be able to get the job done late. Even today, Miguel Castro's one run that he gave up was a very important run. And that was the one run that the bullpen allowed today. And that run ended up costing them the game. And we still haven't seen the Diamondbacks bullpen be able to come in and shut down really a game without having any kind of excitement. I feel like we can count on one hand how many times we've seen that. But Torrey, reaching out to resources like you said, Jesse, and some of his comments, I think, really do show how compelled he is with what is going on and how much of his time this is taking up. There are no off days for Torrey Lovullo. He is trying to figure out a way to get this back on track.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that he's just kind of trying everything, I mean, I don't know how many other buttons there are to press at this point. Diamondbacks have lost 7 in a row. They're 7-23, I think, at this point in their last 30 games. They were 50-34 a month and a half ago, and now we're here talking about a 500 baseball team. It's wild. I mean,
if I could bottle Paul Sewald's optimism, I would sell it on our fucking website for more than any of the other merchandise we're selling, Jesse, because he is so calm and he is so he talked today about how we've seen this before. I've been on teams before that were 10 games below 500 in June and came back. He's like, this team is a good team. I'm excited to be here. He just had that smile on his face and that positive attitude that you kind of need to have in a game that has 162 games in it, and all the ups and downs that you experience as a major leaguer. I don't know. I mean, as fans of this team, it feels like what we've seen last year. It feels like what we saw in 2021. It feels like what we saw, just from this team repetitively. And I understand that for a lot of people, I feel like that's what is frustrating them so much about Torrey is seeing the team at some point every season go on one of these stretches where Torrey openly admits that he doesn't really have answers for what they're going through.
I mean, the Diamondbacks never actually lost 7 games in a row last year. Their longest losing streak last year was 6 somehow.
What?
So, yeah.
Jesse, you just made it worse. You just made this whole thing worse.
That's so proud.
Oh, God.
There are a lot of different ways to be like a 500 baseball team, which is ultimately where we're at with the 2023 Arizona Diamondbacks. Most teams that are around 500 baseball teams, they get a little over 500, they go a little under 500, they kind of teeter-totter the entire way. By the end of the season, you look up, they're a perfect 81-81, something along those lines. This Diamondbacks team took a very weird path to being a 500 baseball team where they sit right now, right? They were 50-34. They had the best record in the National League. They had a better record than the Braves, right? I believe it was at some point in the middle of May. We were talking about a team that had the best record in the National League at that point. So it's unprecedented. And I understand for fans that this might be the worst way to be a 500 baseball team where your hopes, your expectations got so high, to the point where you're talking about a team that's on pace to win 100 games after not an insignificant amount of baseball was played. And now it's sort of like, all right, maybe you can kind of see it maybe this team wasn't really what a lot of people thought it was in those first couple months. They benefited a lot from the schedule that they played. Now things are kind of coming back into balance. You just have to hope the rest of the way, right, that they're able to, they are able to at least finish 500 or maybe even a little bit better than that. They're still within striking distance of the playoffs as well. It's not like that door is closed or anything, despite how poorly they've played. So it's just a bizarre season that the Diamondbacks have had so far.
Jesse, I'm going to let you go, but because you keep making me sad, and that's the most reason I want to.
I hate it here, man.
I want to stop talking to you, but tonight's game, it was just. I would like to say it's a metaphor for the season, but it's not. It would be like a metaphor if they would have had the lead and then blown it late, or something like that, and then given up 20 runs in the 9th inning. That's the only way that it would have felt like the way that this season has gone. I don't know. I think that I think we have some episodes titled "Are the Diamondbacks the hottest team in baseball?" I think that there's a whole thing of us throwing shade at Jake for saying the Diamondbacks are going to win 75 games, which doesn't look so bad now.
He said 73, which would still. Right. I mean, I think you're still taking the over. Yeah, I do think. I think the Diamondbacks posted on Twitter or something. They have a Jake Storiale uniform.
I think Jake's getting to wear the vest. I think he's getting to try because they talk about on the show a decent amount about how small he would look in that vest.
Maybe,
and so I think he's finally getting to wear the vest.
Maybe this is exactly what we need.
Maybe we need
Jake
talking Jake.
Maybe Jake is the key.
Jake and the Snakes.
Jake to getting his snakes back because we play for rings in the desert. Jesse Friedman, thank you so much for joining us and being at the ballpark. Of course, follow Jesse on Twitter at Jesse and Friedman. That's
Stay hydrated.
Friedman. Drink some water, goddammit.
Is J-Dog a thing? Can we start calling him J-Dog?
You can call him J-Dog. I can't call him J-Dog.
You wouldn't be the... I had a roommate at one point who he's the only person in my life who's ever called me J-Dog. And he just kind of pulled it out of nowhere one day. And it sort of stuck for him, but no one else. Literally no one else.
And that's funny.
If you want to be that guy, Shawn, you go right ahead.
Okay.
All right. See you later, J-Dog. We appreciate you.
See you guys.
Ryan says, remember when we were a wagon in the chat? No. I don't remember that at all. I don't even think that was the thing. Yeah, we need to get Jake down to the takeover. Maybe we'll have him come by and say hi to everybody.
Excuse me. I think he's going to the game on Friday. I don't know if he's going to be there Saturday as well.
Well, maybe we can bribe him with some OG's brands to come stop by.
Because, don't got those in New York.
Yep, they don't. And, of course, he can get a great night's sleep with their Aquaberry sleep gummies. But if you're stuck on what kind of gummies to get, OG's took the guesswork out of it for you. You can get their brand new mix bags, the fruits, the creams. The fruits include red apple, watermelon, peach. Creams include blackberries and cream. Orange creamsicle, my personal favorite, and peaches and cream. They put all of these Hall of Famers in one place for you to use. And of course, with the way the Diamondbacks are playing right now, you need OGs to get over. Forget a performance to forget. We have games to forget now with the way things are going right now. But make sure to check out the fruits and the creams in both a Sunny Sativa and a Mellow Indica blend. Again, much like Petey, let Shawn and I be your weed Sherpas. If you have any questions, ask us. We'll guide you in the right direction.
DM me. My DMs are always open.
That's right. We highly recommend you check out OG's online at ogsbrands.com or on Instagram at ogsbrands. You can also find their products at your local dispensary. Must be 21 years or older to purchase. If you want to join us for the game time, game time. If you want to join us for baseball games, our takeover event is officially sold out. So we thank all of you for coming. But you can still buy your tickets at Game Time for that game on Saturday or for any baseball game you want to watch. Game Time is the place for last-minute ticket deals. And it's not just games, concerts, shows, whatever you want to see. It's the fastest-growing ticketing app in the country for a reason. It's aesthetically pleasing. And, of course, it gives you a great deal. And, of course, for procrastinators. It's for people that have FOMO and don't want to miss out at the last minute. You can snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And of course, we want to give a shout out to one of our favorite neon companies in existence. It's a company started by two friends and former college roommates, and they make officially licensed collegiate logo LED neon signs. Of course, we're talking about Saturday Neon. Whether you're a diehard fan of a team or a casual supporter, you can get yourself some wonderful backgrounds, not only for your man cave, it could be for your office, Zoom calls. If you have a show that you do, if you're Mike Luke, get yourself a Saturday Neon. He's got one of those down there. We got one in our office. They're both for that school, which we don't acknowledge. Damon's probably going to say something about the culinary
pride of the Big 12,
something about Tucson or some shit. But anyway, you can get, of course, a sign for Arizona. Also, Colorado, Alabama, Wisconsin, Auburn, and many others. They have 19 select schools, and they're adding more every day. So make sure to check out
big schools only.
SaturdayNeon.com.
Arizona.
Use code PHNX for 10% off your order today. Free shipping for all orders over $200. We thank you guys for joining us tonight. You guys are the real MVPs. I'm stealing that from him, and I'm giving it to you. But that's just because you guys hung out with us after this disastrous game. If I wasn't doing the show, I would be in bed right now because that game probably would have made me cry myself to sleep. But you guys are rad, and we thank you so much for being here. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at cap_caveman with a K. This maniac next to me is at Shawn_DePaz. The maniac behind the Mac is Damon, and he is at Damon's Dogs. That's Damon Dog, not we are Damon's dogs, but he is Damon Dog. That's DAWG. Of course, our show's at PHNX D-backs, but all roads lead to at PHNX sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We are both very sick of this shit, and we hope you're sick of this shit too. We can all be sick of this shit together. It's fine, but we do appreciate you for stopping by. We thank you for your time. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when you don't get your hopes up only to get them broken again.